Your cash is losing money right now. It's happening silently every single day, and most people don't even realize it. You work hard for your money, you put it in a savings account, thinking it's safe, but inflation is like a silent tax that's constantly eating away at its value. The prices of everything from food to rent are going up, but the interest rate on a typical big bank savings account is barely moving. That gap is where your money disappears. The psychological trap is feeling secure while you're actually losing ground. You see the number in your account and it looks the same, so you think you're okay. But that number buys less and less over time. It's like practicing the same dance move wrong for years. You're putting in the effort, but you're not getting the results. Your money needs to work as hard as you do, and right now, it's sitting on the bench. This moment demands immediate action because high interest rates are actually an opportunity. They're your chance to flip the script and put your cash to work. But you have to move now because these rates won't last forever. The window is open and it's time to step through. Move 1, high yield savings accounts, your foundation. Okay, let's start with your foundation move, the high yield savings account, or HISA. This is your base layer, the fundamental bounce that everything else builds on. Think of it as the basic rhythm you need to feel before you add any fancy footwork. A HISA is just a savings account, but it pays interest rates that are often 10 to 20 times higher than what you get from a traditional brick and mortar bank. The reason they can do this is simple. They're mostly online banks. They don't have the massive overhead of maintaining physical branches everywhere, so they pass those savings on to you in the form of much higher rates. Right now, you can find ISAs paying over 5% APY. Compare that to the 0.01% you might be getting. Now that's a massive difference. You need to compare rates, but it's easy. Just search for best high yield savings accounts and look at the current annual percentage yield. That's the real rate you'll earn. The best part, this move is incredibly safe. HYSAs from reputable banks are FDIC insured, which means your money is protected up to $250,000 per account, just like at your current bank. And your money stays completely liquid. You can transfer it to your checking account, usually within a day or two if you need it. It's safe, it's accessible, and it's paying you a real return. Setting up your first HISA is a straightforward process. You'll do it entirely online. First, choose a bank with a competitive rate that has good reviews. Then, you'll need your personal information, name, address, social security number, just like opening any other bank account. You'll link your existing checking account to fund your new HISA. The bank will make a couple of small deposits to verify it's really your account, and then you're in. You transfer your savings over and start earning that higher interest immediately. You should use a HISA for your emergency fund and any money you might need in the next few years. It's not for long-term investing, but for the cash you want to keep safe and liquid while still beating inflation. A common mistake people make is overthinking the switch. They worry about the process or leaving their familiar bank. But the switch is simple, and loyalty to a bank that's paying you virtually nothing is costing you real money. It's time to make the move. Move 2. Treasury bills, government guaranteed returns. Now let's level up to your second move, Treasury bills, or T-bills. If the HISA is your foundational bounce, this is your first power step. Treasury bills are basically short-term loans you make to the US government. They need cash to operate, and you lend it to them for a few weeks or months. In return, they guarantee to pay you back with interest. It's one of the safest investments in the world because it's backed by the full faith and credit of the United States. The best way to buy T-bills is directly through treasurydirect.gov. This cuts out the middleman, so you get the full yield. The process is straightforward. You create an account on the website, which takes about 15 minutes. Then, you link your bank account. When you're ready to buy, you go to the Buy Direct tab, select Bills, and choose the maturity date you want, like 4-week, 8-week, or 13-week bills. You enter the amount, submit, and the money is taken from your bank account. When the bill matures, the full amount plus your interest is deposited right back into your Treasury Direct account. It's a direct line to a guaranteed return. The real power move here is building a T-bill ladder. Instead of putting all your money into one bill that matures in 3 months, you stagger your purchases. You might buy a 4-week bill every single week. That way, you have money maturing and returning to you every week, giving you consistent cash flow. If you don't need the cash right away, you can immediately reinvest it into a new bill at the current rate. This strategy keeps your money constantly working for you and helps you navigate changing interest rates smoothly. A huge advantage of T-bills is their tax treatment. The interest you earn is exempt from state and local income taxes. So if you live in a state with a high income tax, this is a significant benefit that can make your effective return even higher. For safety, it's tough to beat T-bills. While corporate bonds might offer slightly higher rates, they come with more risk. With a T-bill, you know exactly what you're getting, and you know the US government is good for it. The minimum investment is usually $100, making it accessible for almost anyone to start building that ladder and securing those government guaranteed returns. Move 3, certificates of deposit locking in high rates. Your third move is for when you want to lock in a high rate for a longer period. Certificates of deposit, or CDs. Think of a CD as committing to a choreography sequence. You agree to leave your money untouched for a set period, and in return, you get a guaranteed, often higher rate of return. CDs work by you depositing a lump sum with a bank or credit union for a specific term, like 6 months, 1 year, or 5 years. The bank pays you a fixed interest rate for that entire term. At the end, you get your original deposit back plus all the accrued interest. The trade-off is simple. You get a higher rate in exchange for less liquidity. You're promising not to touch that money for the term length. If you need to withdraw it early, you'll face a penalty, which can wipe out your interest earnings and sometimes even cut into your initial deposit. So this move is for money you are absolutely certain you will not need until the CD matures. To add flexibility to this strategy, you build a CD ladder, similar to the T-bill ladder. Instead of putting $10,000 into one 5-year CD, you split it up. You might buy a 1-year CD, a 2-year CD, a 3-year CD, and so on. This way, a portion of your money matures each year. You can then either use that cash if you need it or reinvest it into a new CD at whatever the current best rate is. There are also variations like bump up CDs, which allow you to raise your rate once during the term if rates go up, and no penalty CDs, which let you withdraw your money early without a fee, though they typically start with a slightly lower rate. It's crucial to understand the early withdrawal penalties, as they are the main risk. The penalty is usually a set amount of interest, like 3 to 6 months worth. You should always read the terms before you buy. You can get CDs through your local bank or an online bank, but you can also find them at brokerage firms. Brokerage CDs are just CDs from other banks that are sold on a brokerage platform, which can sometimes make it easier to shop for the very best rate across the country. Choosing between them often comes down to who is offering the highest APY for the term you want. The key is to use CDs strategically for funds with a known future purpose, like a down payment you're saving for in 2 years, so you can lock in a great rate without worrying about market fluctuations. Putting it together, your action plan. Start with the HYSA today, it's your foundation. Then build a T-bill ladder for short-term safety. Use CDs for money you won't need for a year or more. Automate transfers so your cash keeps working. Revisit your strategy quarterly as rates change. Your next step? Open that HESA right now.